Chapter 8. Understanding Artificial Intelligence. Central Idea. Machine Learning. Application Programming Interface. Cloud Computing Services. Understanding AI by Do-It-Yourself. Artificial intelligence shouldn't stop at reaching the human level. It must go beyond the capabilities of humans to reach at its peak. There are many ways AI can be achieved. Some of them are as follows. Artificial intelligence, AI, machine learning, ML, deep learning, supervised, unsupervised, natural language processing, NLP, content extraction, classification, machine translation, question answering, text generation, expert systems, vision, image recognition, machine vision, speed, speech to text, text to speech, planning, robotics. Machine learning. Machine learning has slowly become a part of our life and helps us in areas like entertainment, banking, shopping, healthcare, etc. Machine learning can be trained in two different ways: supervised training, unsupervised training. Supervised learning. In supervised learning, you train the machine using data which is well labeled. It means some data is already tagged with the correct answer. It can be compared for learning which takes place in the presence of a supervisor or a teacher. A supervised learning algorithm learns from labeled training data, helps you to predict outcomes for unforeseen data. Let's assume you want to become a doctor. During training, you would study symptoms and diseases related to it. When you are trained enough, you can predict disease based on some symptoms. How supervised learning works. Below, you see labels are applied to training data to provide some context for the machine learning algorithm. Training data, label cat, ML algorithm. The machine now has a basic idea of what a cat is based on the data and labels it was provided. Now it's time to validate the model to see how accurate it is. The more time and effort are put into supervised learning, the more accurate the results will be. It's unlikely the model will be spot on the first time though. So it's up to the person behind the model to keep refining it. Characteristics of supervised learning. Requires training data or a sample data set that will be used to train a model. This data must be labeled to provide context when it comes time for learning. Requires desired output values. This helps the model reach what is believed to be the correct answer. Requires a learning algorithm to map input values to the desired output values. Requires validation data. This must also be labeled. Validation data will be passed through the model to test its accuracy. Unsupervised learning. Unsupervised learning is a machine learning technique where you do not need to supervise the model. Instead, you need to allow the model to work on its own to discover information. It mainly deals with the unlabeled data. How unsupervised learning works. Contrary to supervised learning, there is no such ground truth or right answer when it comes to unsupervised learning. Instead, the data is in its raw, unlabeled state, so the learning algorithm can attempt to find hidden patterns. This is the purpose of unsupervised learning. In the example, you'll see how a machine can learn to find patterns in unlabeled data. No labels. From the given example, you can see that even without labels, the algorithm was able to sort the data based on the structures it identified. Unsupervised learning algorithms allow you to perform more complex processing tasks compared to supervised learning, although unsupervised learning can be more unpredictable compared with other natural learning, deep learning, and reinforcement learning methods. In unsupervised learning or unsupervised training, include training examples which are not labeled by the system to which class they belong. The system looks for the data which share common characteristics and changes them based on internal knowledge. This type of learning algorithms are basically used in clustering problems. Characteristics of unsupervised learning requires input data with no particular output. There are no data labels nor training data for context. Requires a learning algorithm to find naturally occurring patterns in the data. Application Programming Interface (API). Application Programming Interface or API is a major part of AI as it is a set of commands, protocols, and functions that are used in programming to create software that is capable of interacting with an external system. The APIs tend to be one of the main elements of the cloud services. Most of the APIs are designed to work with the cloud services, as most of the used data tends to be stored on the cloud. Cloud computing services. There are several different forms of services that can be used in the cloud by CSPs, cloud service providers, including software, often referred to as software as a service, SaaS, a computing platform for developing or hosting applications known as platform as a service, PaaS, or an entire networking or computing infrastructure known as infrastructure as a service, IaaS. Users, software developers, system administrators, network architects. SaaS, software as a service, email, CRM, collaborative, ERP. Consume. SaaS is the new way of distributing and selling software. It is based on the cloud, so there is no need for a physical distribution of the software. In the past, you needed to download the software on your computer, either downloading the file or inserting a physical disk. Right now, there is no need to download anything to your computer. In SaaS model, the software runs on a remotely located server. This means that all you need to access the software is to use your web browser. Common example of SaaS product: Google, Twitter, Facebook, and Flickr. PaaS, platform as a service. Platform as a service, PaaS, is a way to rent hardware, operating systems, storage, and network capacity over the internet. In a PaaS model, a cloud provider delivers hardware and software tools, usually those needed for application development, to its users as a service. A PaaS provider hosts the hardware and software on its own infrastructure. As a result, PaaS frees users from having to install in-house hardware and software to develop or run a new application. Practical use and benefits: reduce the costs involved with software development and deployment. Reduce the costs of managing software updates and maintenance. Examples: Microsoft Azure, OpenShift, Force.com. IaaS, infrastructure as a service. This is the most basic cloud computing model, where the provider offers virtual servers to the users. The IaaS service provider provisions the required hardware as a virtual machine, VM. The consumers can load any software and store data on virtual machines offered by cloud, the provider. This works on the concept of virtualization, where the physical drives are separate from the virtual machine the consumer is running. Some examples of IaaS are Amazon's EC2 and S3 and Rackspace Clouds. Who are cloud service providers? Cloud service providers, CSP, are companies that offer network services, infrastructure, or business applications in the cloud. The cloud services are hosted in a data center that can be accessed by companies or individuals using network connectivity. Companies like Amazon, Microsoft, and Google provide service called Amazon Web Services, AWS, Microsoft Azure, Google App Engine, Amazon Web Services, Amazon Web Services, AWS, which provides its IaaS service for web hosting and applications to millions of customers. AWS is currently offering storage and content delivery, compute, networking, and database services in large scale. Microsoft Azure. Microsoft Azure, formerly known as Windows Azure, is Microsoft's public cloud computing platform. It provides a range of cloud services, including those for compute, analytics, storage, and networking. Users can pick and choose from these services to develop and scale new applications or run existing applications in the public cloud. It provides artificial intelligence components in building web apps, analysis services including machine learning prediction are provided via the Azure Machine Learning Studio hosted by Azure. Microsoft Azure provides Code as a Service, SaaS, Platform as a Service, PaaS, and Infrastructure as a Service, IaaS, and supports various programming languages, tools, and frameworks, as well as each Microsoft-specific and third-party code and systems. Office 365 integrates with Azure Power Apps and the Power Platform. Azure is an online development platform that brings massive supercomputing power to your apps, enabling them to be web-based online apps. You can build Azure-hosted apps using Visual Studio Code and Visual Studio IDEs. Google Cloud Platform. It is a Google's cloud service provider, GCP, which allow building applications on Google's software and infrastructure. Google App Engine, Platform as a Service, PaaS, which allows developing web applications in Python, Java, Go, PHP, and manages everything for you: database, deployment, scaling software. Natural Language Processing, NLP. Natural language processing is broadly defined as the automatic manipulation of natural language like speech and text by software. One of the well-known examples of this is email spam detection, as we can see how it has improved in our mail system. Computer vision. It can be said as a field which enables the machines to see. Machine vision captures and analyzes visual information using a camera, analog to digital conversion, and digital signal processing. It can be compared to human eyesight, but it is not bound by the human limitation which can enable it to see through walls. Now, that would be interesting if we can have implants that can make us see through the wall. It is usually achieved through machine learning to get the best possible results. So we could say that these two fields are interlinked. Therefore, to create an intelligent machine, it should have the capabilities of AI. To achieve AI, we need an enhanced knowledge of machine learning. Cognitive computing brings AI within reach of every developer without requiring machine learning expertise. All it takes is an API call to embed the ability to see, hear, speak, search, understand, and accelerate decision-making into the apps. Understanding AI by do-it-yourself. Let's create a project on AI using text-to-speech feature of AI. AI applications can be created using Python, R, Java, curls, Scratch 3.0 and many other languages. We are going to develop a small AI application using Scratch 3.0. Step 1. Open the website https://scratch.mit.edu/. Step 2. Click on Create button. Step 3. Select the Close button to close the video. Step 4. Click on Add Extensions in the bottom left corner. Step 5. Select Text to Speech. You would find new set of blocks are added. Step 6. Drag the green flag block from the Events category in the Scripts area. Step 7. Drag the Say block from the Looks category in the Scripts area and change Hello to Welcome to my program. Step 8. Click on the green flag and see the sprite saying Welcome to my program in a speech bubble. Step 9. Now we want the cat to speak. Welcome to my program so that we can hear it. To achieve this, click on the text to speech and place the Say block in the Scripts area. Change the text from Hello to Welcome to my program, same as the previous Say block. Step 10. Click on the green flag and listen the cat saying Welcome to my program.